Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope this video finds you in pink of your health and you are here enjoying art and creating art as much as I do. In this video, I am going to share with you a few tips about pencil shading or pencil rendering. These are some tips that I have gathered from experience over the years, through my time at the design school or when I had fine arts as a subject in my high school. And I just wanted to share this with you so that it helps make your drawings more interesting, more impactful, and maybe it gives you some insight into what you're trying to do or what you're trying to achieve through your pencil drawings. I really hope these 4 tips that I'm going to share with you help you into making something better and unique and find your own style while you're drawing this. So my first tip would be draw from what you see and not what you know. What I mean is that when we are trying to draw something, for example, I started this pencil sketch with a drawing of a face, and the face is in a very weird perspective that you can say. And if I had used what I already know about what a face looks like, it would have been very complicated for me to draw this. But instead, I decided to view it as a 2D object and just draw what I see and not what I know about the face. And that really helps into getting the drawing into place. Now, talking about what is happening on the screen, what I have done here is that I have blocked out the dark and light areas in the part of the eye, and now I'm blocking the shaded areas, and I'm going to further put the details of dark and light after I have marked it. Which brings me to my second tip, that is, mark the light and dark areas before rendering. Now, what this is going to do for you is it is going to give you an idea of the scale and make it incredibly easy for you to render the drawing or render the face in this manner without interrupting the flow of your shading process. While you're taking care of the dark and light, it is very difficult to take care of the scale. What I mean is how much area has to be dark and how much area has to be light, or what area is in midtones. So if you have marked these areas with a very light pencil before, then you can just go on with the shading process in the flow without getting interrupting or worrying about the proportions or the scale of the drawing. My third tip would be to add interest with thickness and force of the stroke. What I mean is that to show different areas and different textures, different amounts of detail in a drawing, you can add more interest while playing with the thickness of the stroke and the force with which it is laid on to the drawing. For example, now you can see that I am doing the face. So while doing the face of the man, I kept the strokes very light, very soft, and very close to each other so that they give an illusion of a very soft skin. While further, when I move to the neck area, I use a little bolder stroke, a little sturdy area to make the neck look more muscular and more defined and less softer in nature, which will be followed by the hair texture. I wanted to do the hair of this drawing in a very suggestive manner. So I have used thick, bold strokes to kind of go in a free flow motion that give the illusion of the hair and don't define the exact each and every strand of hair, which kind of gives more gravitas, more style, along with adding interest to my sketch. Now you might have noticed that I did the entire face, the entire detailing part where I rendered the eye, the nose, the lips, and then moved on to certain suggestive areas like the neck, then the clothes, followed by the hair and the smoke in the end. Why I did the areas that required the most detail and attention in the beginning were because when you start a sketch, you are more motivated, you have more patience, you're not tired of doing the same thing. So it's better to give your full energy, full focus, and full dedication to the areas that need more attention in your sketch. And then followed by areas that are not so difficult or do not need perfection or focus because we are not trying to capture more detail there. As we are talking about the process and steps and the flow towards the completion of the sketch, this brings me to the fourth tip that I want to share with you all. That is that if you want darker areas or areas that have depth in your painting or your illustration or your sketch for that matter, you should go about making layers of adding the darkness rather than putting a direct patch of dark color or a dark spot on your painting from the very beginning. Because if you want to achieve the right kind of blending, the right kind of softness from the darker areas to the lighter areas, it is better to go about it step by step, building the darkness or building the depth in the sketch layer by layer with, going back and forth from the dark areas to the light areas and repeating this step a number of times before you are satisfied once you have finally achieved what you're trying to achieve from that. To summarize, these are the 4 tips. Number 1, draw from what you see, not what you know. Number 2, mark the light and dark areas before rendering. Number 3, add interest with thickness and force of the stroke that you're using. And number 4, build the dark areas with layers and not in one go. So this brings us to the end of this video. I hope that I was able to provide some value. Please don't forget to subscribe and do leave a comment if I was able to provide some value to what you already knew or if I was able to be of some help. I hope to bring you some more videos like this in the future. Until then, take care.